freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, we educate, and we inform. We are brought to you by azfirearms.com, your nationwide hometown gun shop. I am one of your hosts, Cheryl Todd.
And I'm the other guy, Dan Todd. We're doing a series called Ameri-CAN, talking about the can-do spirit that is part of our American DNA.
Absolutely. Our lives have been just completely lopsided, turned upside down with this coronavirus, COVID-19, and we're being told every single day about all of the things we can't do and all of the places that we can't go. But the guests that we are having on during this series are experts in ways that we can still learn and grow, connect and train, and perhaps engage in freedom and expand our freedoms in ways that maybe we haven't even thought about before. And our guest today is Tom Kubiniec. Tom is the CEO of SecureIt Tactical, which is the country's leading authority on gun safe storage and armory design. In 2015, Tom expanded SecureIt from being solely a defense contractor into a rapidly growing retail brand with a focus on improving people's lives by educating and making them safer and better prepared. His goal is to help gun owners to properly store, hide, transport, and protect their guns. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm excited. I just love opportunities to get out and share information. We've got 25 years of building military armories, and we've learned a lot. And so much of it applies to civilian and commercial firearm storage.
Absolutely. And so this whole series is talking about being proactive, right? Not sitting back and just reacting to every little thing that's happening on the, and I'm using air quotes here, the news, right? And so what are some proactive things that gun owners can do during this unprecedented time? And who knows, there could be another pandemic waiting around the corner. What can we do, Tom?
Well, you've seen gun sales spike. Everybody's talking about the big spike in gun sales because of this COVID thing. And the reality is, if you waited till COVID hit to go buy a firearm, you're not doing it right. And I don't want to sound harsh to people, but preparation is something you do on a regular basis. Being prepared is not buying a firearm, putting it in a little lockbox, having a box of ammo and say, boom, I'm ready for anything. We provide fast access, discrete storage solutions to place all over your home. But part of our message is home defense and being prepared is a daily ritual. It's something you do. I go to bed every night. I reach down calmly, quietly, and I have a fast box, fast access gun safe. I have an AR-15 in there, but I just do the combination in the dark, quietly, open it, and I just close it. So that in the event of a crisis when I'm sleeping, if something happens, window breaks, somebody's in, your heart rate's going to be going crazy. The anxiety could be high. I want that muscle memory where I reach down because I do it every night effortlessly, and boom, I'm armed and ready to defend myself without this panic, without
fumbling around.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that is so well said. And, that preparedness mindset, sometimes it does take an emergency situation, maybe a hurricane, maybe a pandemic, maybe somebody has broken into your house to cause you to realize how much you aren't exercising your preparedness mindset.
Yeah.
And we've seen just, I mean, hundreds in our store alone, AZ Firearms, millions across the nation of people who have finally come to that level of awareness. And I think it's awesome that you have a help to that, a solution to that, in this describe to folks what your products are. But I would say they're a very modular kind of a system that you can not have all of your eggs in one basket necessarily, right? So talk to us about what the SecureIt Tactical system is all about.
We're really bringing the military mindset into consumer gun storage. And first and foremost, modular is the exact word that we use. Modular and scalable solutions. Putting all your guns in one great big safe that holds 50 guns really does, it's a disservice. They don't work well. First and foremost, gun safes are built and designed for a 1970s threat level. Look at their websites, look at their information. They're designed to protect you against a guy with a drill, a hammer, and a chisel. A modern circular saw, DeWalt 24-volt, 20-volt circular saw with a modern carbide blade. We've got videos. I cut an entire safe, and it was a big American-made safe, 40-gun safe. I cut it in half in under 2 minutes. I cut a 12-inch hole in the side in 18 seconds. And modern tools cut through these things like butter. So we take a whole different approach. Okay, so heavy, thick steel is not getting you anything. So we bring you ultralight gun storage, smaller modular cabinets. Locate guns in your home where thieves don't look. They're safer. The cornerstone of good security is secrecy. And as it works out, some of the most safe, secure places in your home to store firearms are also the best places to store firearms to give you a tactical advantage in the event of a home invasion or a break-in.
So that is so, I had not even realized that, we sell safes in our store. I've seen safes all over the place at gun shows that we go to, huge industry shows. And yeah, they all have a rating. And so I'm thinking, okay, cool. There's a number. It's got a rating. It looks like a big secure thing. It looks like a reputable company selling it. So probably I'm good. But I never had an understanding of what the rating meant and what the numbers were behind that. And so when you say that it's a 70s, it was devised in the 70s, this rating, it's, I think, did you say that it was, you can get into, what is the rating and what does it mean? About 30 seconds.
Okay. Gun safes are, UL is the rating company. That's the authority. They're class RSC. A gun safe is a UL class RSC. RSC stands for Residential Security Container. The word safe is not part of the classification. UL would not allow them to use the word safe when they set this standard, because to UL standards, these do not meet the minimum performance to actually use the word safe. It's a metal box lined with drywall and carpeting. The drywalls, they say, is for fire rating. It's really for weight, because they want the safes heavy. The perception is a heavy safe is a secure safe. They also focus your attention on the door. They'll show in their websites, there's all these bolts, all these things they do, plate steel, to make their door so secure. That door is so heavy, they need drywall to offset the weight so it's not a tip hazard. A professional thief, a pro, ignores the door and simply cuts the side off the safe.
We did an estate, and they had a $6,000 safe that they tipped on its front, and the back, they cut the back out with tools from the garage of the house. They didn't bring their own tools, and they got everything out of that safe, and they estimated it took them maybe 20 minutes, and they used mattresses to quieten the sound of the drills. So I agree with you. It makes you feel safe. But now, guess what? Everything was in that safe that they thought was valuable.
Correct.
So now they got everything all at once, gone.
Yeah, one and done is what we call that. When you go to decentralized storage, if you've got a large collection, I've got a pretty good sized collection, I have guns located in 7 different locations in my home.
Mhm.
Now, if a thief is in my home, a typical thief is in and out of a home, a pro, in less than 10 minutes, master bedroom, master bath, drugs, valuables. They're going to be a home office, den, and then they're gone usually. So there's a lot of places we can talk about where to store guns, but should they have time and they find one of my safes and they've got time to get into it, well, in their mind, they just won. Wow, I got what I came here for, and they're gone. What they don't know is, okay, they got access to 7% of my collection.
Mhm.
You know, and I have insurance. I'm a big believer in buy good insurance and then buy solid security, but buy security that works for you, not against you.
So what would you think a person that just bought a gun, it's their first gun, what should they do? What should they buy?
What type of gun? Or
No, so what type of safe? What do they need?
depending on the firearm, if it's a handgun, I'd go with I'd buy 2 small modular handgun boxes. I'd put one next to my bed. I put one in the kitchen.
Mhm.
And next to your bed, that's where you're sleeping. Lock it there in the daytime. If you're carrying all day, hey, carry the firearm. That's your safest thing to do. Most people, especially new gun owners, they don't want to carry a firearm. They want the security. So then in the day, walk down and lock it in your fast access handgun box in your kitchen. People spend a lot of time in the kitchen. During a break-in, you've got access to a firearm, plus there is typically an exit from the home from most kitchens. You can arm yourself and get out because you want to avoid conflict. Let the law enforcement handle it. There's nothing in your house worth fighting for. You want to arm yourself so if the fight comes to you, you can properly defend yourself.
Okay.
Absolutely. And Danny teases me a little bit because I'm home more than he's home. And he'll go to open something or look underneath something. He's like, and another gun. Oh, and he got another gun.
But they are in safe. All of them are in safes.
So they are in safes because we have grandchildren in the house all
Yep.
the time, little ones that are
But the
curious.
bathrooms, the kitchen,
You
the
know,
living room, there's a safe everywhere. And I honestly, it's bad because I don't know where all of them are. I know where enough are, but I don't know where all of them are.
well, my point is that sometimes I carry on my person at home, and sometimes it's just not practical to carry on my person at home. And like you said, if I happen to be in the kitchen or in the shower, there's a meme out there that says, when you're in the shower, everything sounds like a home invasion. And it's true. So, be prepared in the places where you're definitely they're most vulnerable.
So when you say modular, what does that really mean?
Well, our system is patented. We call it Cradle Grid. And it's the system we developed it working under contract with U.S. Army Special Forces. And it is a system for storing firearms, a completely adjustable system that stores a firearm in a manner where, I'm talking about rifles right now, rifles, shotguns, long guns. It stores it in a manner where that gun and the optic is not touching anything. You store your guns in our system, and when you go to remove a gun, that gun will perform exactly as it did when you put it in. Most gun safes, most traditional consumer gun storage, they'll say, 25 gun, 30, 40 gun capacity, and they've got this big box with all these little W's of carpeting. A 40 gun safe will hold about 18 guns, and they're all banging into each other, and it's just a mess. Most firearms nowadays have optics, and certainly for home defense, a red dot just absolutely makes sense. Our system stores guns in a way where they'll work perfectly. When a sniper goes into combat, he has one shot. He has to make that shot because lives are on the line. And they use our system because his rifle will perform perfectly. And that same logic applies to the consumer, to the hunter. I don't have to zero my rifles at the beginning of every hunting season. I like to go out and shoot them, but my guns will perform perfectly every time I use them.
Right. And so most safes, they're banged together, like you said. They get out of adjustment. You might grab the wrong gun because they're piled on top of each other, and then you got your papers and everything else. It's smart to have a gun that's combat ready.
Yeah, that's a good term for it. We also use the term straight line access. All of our gun cabinets are shallower than a gun safe. It's one row of guns. And this is based on a military principle. You can open the safe for the rack with one arm, remove a rifle with the other, and then lock it back up. You're never laying guns on the floor. You're never digging through guns to get the one you want. It's
Right.
Everything's right there. Plus, when you open the cabinet up, if it's one of our bigger cabinets, you glance at it. If something's missing, you know right away.
Right.
Also, with the modularity, our system allows you to store a wide variety of gear around the firearms. We have a bin and tray storage system. So if you've got 4 or 5 AR-15s, chances are one of them's probably semi-disassembled. I'm always tinkering with things. I've got one I'm always messing with. Well, I drop a couple of bins in behind the gun. It's in my cabinet, and all the parts are being stored right behind the gun. So everything stays together. If you've got a handgun you're working on, we've got a bin system that stores handguns. So the frame is in one side, all the parts are in the other. You take the whole bin, it snaps out of the safe. You walk over to your bench, perform the maintenance, whatever you're doing, and whether the gun is completely assembled or not, the whole system goes back into the safe. You're not messing around with stuff located everywhere. I also store odd caliber ammo. I have some vintage and some just goofy guns, we'll call them. And I keep a small bit of ammunition for each one because every gun I own gets shot. I don't believe in hanging them on a wall and just letting them sit there. So I keep that. It's easier for me to keep that box of ammo with that gun because those things get lost in my big ammo cabinet very quickly.
Absolutely. So as I'm hearing you talk about the modularity and you know the way that you can store individual things in individual places, one of the interviews we did recently is with a lady who has started an organization called holdmyguns.org, and she's trying to work with different gun shops, FFLs around the nation, that if people are, you know, it's a suicide prevention, it's a safety storage scenario. So I'm kind of picturing that, you know, gun shops could actually use these because, you know, each individual person that wants to store their guns for whatever their reason, maybe they're just traveling, you know, for an extended period of time or whatever, this modularity could be brilliant for gun stores. Do you already have anybody out there that's doing that in a gun store that for whatever reason they might offer storage of firearms? They're using your systems?
We do. There's some facilities in New York that use our fast box is 47 inches high. It's 13 inches wide. It holds 2 rifles side by side. It's designed to mount under your bed. Law enforcement puts them in cruisers, a smaller version, but they bolt together like lockers. And there are facilities in Manhattan that provide safe access and accessible safe storage for firearms for New York residents that just don't want their collections in their apartments or their townhouses, because I think they're afraid that authorities might want them, thieves might want them. So it's actually a pretty good sized business in New York City. And it's almost run like a country club. I mean, it's pretty expensive, it's pretty high end, but collectors have their collections stored in this facility, and the whole facility is locked down. The whole building is very, very secure.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's something that we've thought about because in Arizona, of course, we're right on the border of a place that's not quite so liberty
Mexico?
loving.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, so I think she's talking about California.
California.
Oh, okay.
And so we have a lot of people that come over and they just want to enjoy freedom at the range or go hunting in our beautiful Arizona terrains, you know, the mountains, the deserts, wherever it may be. And so it's just so much easier for them to have a place to store their items on the freedom side of the border.
Right.
And so we've considered doing that multiple times. And one of the considerations for us is, okay, what's our system? And I love this idea of the modularity.
Yeah, we're going to look into it because that is something we're going to do.
Because I would love it if people had their own access.
Right. There's different sizes of systems, and you as a proprietor could have master key override, and your clients each have their own lock. So they walk into what looks like a locker room, and you've got 6-gun, 12-gun, 2-gun lockers. They all kind of bolt together, and their combination works in their cabinet. But
Yes.
you would have master key override. We tried to sell that system to ranges a long time ago, and
Mm-hmm.
we did a few, but for whatever reason, the ranges a few jumped on it.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a few up in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
But,
great idea, but
yeah.
the biggest issue about gun shop, okay, so I have an FFL. So if I offer a locked cabinet to somebody, it can be combo or whatever, I cannot have access to it, period.
As the
I cannot,
FFL,
I
because
can't open it.
otherwise,
Because if
we have
I
to
can open it, then I have to record that gun, and it would have to go through a deposition in and out.
Right.
But
Okay.
if I don't, if I just have your combination, then they can have access to it, which is a smart business, because there are other people, hey, I'm going out of town for the weekend, I don't want to leave my guns here.
Yeah.
Kids are home,
I love
don't
it.
want to leave a gun. But it's a great idea, and anybody that owns a firearm needs to have some kind of protection with that firearm.
Absolutely.
And it's great that you're doing this.
I love that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I get in these conversations a lot with people who have, well, I've got a big safe, I've got this, I've got that, but I keep the one gun next to my bed, or I keep the one unsecure.
Right.
And 20 years ago, I understood that argument. Nowadays, there's so many. I mean, we make fast access gun safes, but there's other ones out there too. There's so many good products out there. We think ours is the best, but the end of the day is there's no reason to not have every gun in your home locked. And if every gun in America was properly secured, Sandy Hook doesn't happen.
Right.
That kid walked in, picked up a gun, and shot his mom before she could even say boo to him.
Right.
With her gun. It was sitting there.
Right.
And
and it helps the other side have less ammunition,
Absolutely.
pardon the use of the word, but to use against us trying to erode our rights. Because if everybody is a safe and responsible gun owner, American gun owner, then those things don't happen, right? And they can't come at us with that emotional argument that then ensues from there. Were you going to say something?
I agree. We have our Second Amendment, and everybody who loves the Second Amendment respects it. I hear them talk about it and defending it, and it is ours to lose.
Yeah.
And as a gun owner and an enthusiast, we have a responsibility. I always tell my kids, I tell people is, look, the more freedom you want and the more freedom you have, the more responsibility you need to have with it.
Absolutely.
And if we all take the responsibility to make sure every gun in America is properly locked and secured, I think it makes our fight so much easier. It just takes ammo away.
A lot of people say the cost, it costs money for a safe. But in the long run, and through everything that could happen by not having one, how could you not afford to buy a safe?
Well, amen to that.
Yeah.
So, Tom, you are a storage expert, but you've also have a lifetime of experience with firearms. Do you have any thoughts, if you were talking to some of the brand new gun owners or the people that are still thinking about, you know what, I do think I need to go ahead and get that. What would you talk to them first about the safety and defense of their home? What might they consider in purchasing a firearm?
If I'm talking to someone, and this is my opinion, and it's just based on my experience.
Sure.
A first-time gun owner should purchase a shotgun or an AR-15.
Okay.
And I think most people go to a handgun, and I talk to people about this, and a lot of people, and I've got friends who aren't gun people, but they want a gun. And I say, so what are you thinking about? And they're talking about a small handgun. I go, why a small handgun? And they don't know, but they're talking. And I come to the realization, they just want to own a gun a little bit. They don't want to be a gun person. They just want to kind of have it. So they want the smallest gun they can buy, because to them, that's just a little bit of gun ownership. Whereas an AR-15 is that's like a real gun guy. That's a gun guy's gun. I don't want to be that guy. But if you're looking at pure home defense, there is no better firearm than an AR-15 to defend a home. Minimal training, you can be proficient with it very quickly, and with every firearm you need to practice. But an AR-15 compared to a handgun is dramatically less practice to be proficient. You can also size the rifle to your body very easily. And from purchase to complete mastery, it's pretty quick, the learning curve on AR-15. Next to that, a pump shotgun. Be my next choice. The last choice I would use, and I don't use handguns for home defense. In my home, I don't consider them. I have AR-15s. I have a couple of shotguns, mostly AR-15s, because once I'm armed, I've got flashlight, I've got a red dot, I've got a lot of ammunition, and with frangible rounds, a modern frangible round, 2 layers of drywall is going to stop that bullet from overpenetration, or at least slow it down and make it not lethal. And handguns require you to go to the range. Basic training you need to be at the range at least once a month. And I see people going to the range, and I'll see them with handguns or rifles, and everybody goes to the range. You watch people, if you go to the range a lot, and they all have the same thing they do. They're targeting, they're setting their scopes, they're plinking. And I asked them, but what about transitions? What about, and they said, look at me. I said, look, if you're home defense, set up some 10-yard targets or even 10 feet and practice just transitions between them. I had a gentleman from Paramount Tactical, which is it's a training place that I take my boys to. It's out of near the DC area. And he was a former sniper team leader. And he said, train like you fight. That was his whole thing. Train like you fight. When you go to the range, you got to set up scenarios that match what your bedroom is like, match what you're downstairs, going down your stairs, wherever you think the threat will be. You want to try to set up that scenario. We use clay pigeons on cardboard, make a little H in there, holds the clays, and we just transition, boom, 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 just quickly moving and calmly moving from target to target, so that you don't want to get in a firefight. And this is all new. This is the first time you've done that. It needs, I look at our military. We have the best military in the world, not because Americans are smarter or stronger than other people. It's because we train. Our military trains every day. And we build a lot of armories for foreign militaries. Most of the armories that we build for foreign militaries, they don't shoot their guns more than a handful of times a year. Our guys are shooting almost every day. There's a reason that our military nobody can touch us because of our training.
Right. I really like the idea what you said about the AR-15 or the shotgun, and I think I would favor the shotgun for a newbie more than even an AR. But I never thought of this before, but I do agree with you that a shotgun or a long rifle is going to be a lot better for a person that can't train every day, that can't train a lot. Although you need to train, that we need to say that you need to train. But a shotgun is probably a little more forgiving than a pistol would be as far as malfunctions and accidents.
Yeah, and the over penetration through the
Plus
walls of your house.
Plus, that sound of a pump shotgun in a quiet house at night is going to be a deterrent.
It is, but I'll tell you on that noise. The reason I have an AR-15 is I have a round in the chamber, safety on.
Yeah.
My gun comes out. There's no noise whatsoever. I don't want to give away a position.
Right.
Sure.
The only thing I like. I don't want to plug a brand. Mossberg 500 pump shotgun.
Oh, I love them.
Small, compact. I love that little gun. If you're a small framed woman or a small guy, I would push them to an AR-15 over the shotgun just because of the recoil.
Right.
And if there's multiple threats and you weigh, 94 pounds, it's going to be hard to get a second shot out of a shotgun, especially if you're not really training a lot, because that barrel is going to be up and your shoulder's going to be back.
That's true. But it's funny with this Corona thing. We had to run I sold every shotgun that we had in the store. Yeah. And so I think and ARs, they're strong too. Yep. So
there's others that definitely agree with you, Tom, that's the way to go.
The simplicity of the pump shotgun for the how often do you have to clear a jam in a pump shotgun? I don't think I ever had a pump shotgun fail the cycle.
Right, unless you're using junk recycled ammo or reloaded ammo or something. But I would like to make a caution out there for anybody that's getting ready to buy a gun. Don't let anybody tell you what to buy, but listen to everyone and then make an opinion on yourself, because you're the one that's going to be handling that gun, and you're the one that's going to need to know how to use it. So listen to what people say, but then go out and touch, feel, shoot, and learn. This is not a purse. This is something that you're going to buy and you're going to depend on, and you're going to need it, and you're going to need the training.
Yeah, I always talk to them. People are like people who sell guns, people are looking. I always tell, if you're looking, if you talk to somebody and they tell you, move on. The person you talk to, the first thing from them should be questions.
Yes.
They need to ask you about what your reasons for getting this firearm. Because if they don't know that, they can't make a recommendation. They're just blowing smoke.
Right.
Amen to that. All right. Well, how do people learn more about the systems that you sell and follow you and the work you do? I know you write articles in different places. Just how do we stay in touch?
The easiest way is our website, secureitgunstorage.com. We also have a YouTube channel, SecureIt YouTube channel. If you just Google SecureIt, one word, Secure and It, we come up all over the place. Our guys put out a lot of content, and it's very well received. I mean, we're growing like crazy, and the message is resonating, and it's good to see Americans making smart choices. And I see that with the bump in firearm purchases, but there's also, we're very busy. We're getting probably 5 times more calls than normally with people saying, hey, I've just got a firearm. And we talk them through different scenarios. And so I think Americans are doing the right thing.
And the cool thing, Tom, is that people can buy the gun direct from you, I mean, the safe direct from you, and have it shipped to their home.
Yeah, the beauty of ultralight gun storage is our most popular Agile cabinets are UPSable. Our larger answer line does ship on a pallet, but it is once you get it, you can put it in your home with an appliance dolly. The Agile cabinet ships unassembled, and it's a patented slide lock assembly system. We got several videos on our website. Some of our customers have posted videos. You just take it to the room you want it. You can build it. If you're going to move, you can disassemble it. You can it's easy to live with. Young people love our system because one thing about millennials and the younger generations, they don't want to be tied down.
Yeah.
They don't want a 30-year career. They want to do something with the idea that in 5 years they'll be doing something else. Most of these young people are moving about every 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
A big heavy gun safe will cost you more to move it than it costs to buy.
Right. And the other thing too is that, right. And I'm sorry, but you have a key thing about having a safe is no one knows you have the safe, except your family members, and that helps a lot too. So having a safe.
When you see the big safe, like the ad for the big safe, huge, all the painting, the beautiful colors, the letters, sitting next to a fireplace and a pool table, I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Right.
You're advertising. You're just saying, hey, everything I own of value is right here in the middle of this room.
Right.
You walk into my house, you would never, ever know that I'm a firearms owner.
Right.
There's nothing other than I've got a very old, grandpa's old shotgun above my fireplace.
Yeah.
And that's a historic piece, but
supposed to be a symbol of status, a status symbol, but we're big Dave Ramsey followers and Chris Hogan followers. He's part of the Dave Ramsey organization. And, something they talk about all the time is, the millionaires next door, the people who really do have, their preparedness, they have their security, they have everything under control. They don't have any need to advertise that to the world. And that is actually the better and the safer way to go about, because you don't look like a target to someone else.
Right.
Absolutely. I encourage everybody, if you're interested, come to our website and read the articles on decentralized storage and how to turn your home into a defendable fortress. Not only is your home more defendable, but your firearms they're stored better. It's a better way to store firearms for far too many reasons that we can talk about in a half hour, 1 hour radio show.
Absolutely.
Right. So you can buy a safe, you can buy one of your safes and put it in an area that can be seen, so that would be the sacrifice, right?
There you go.
As the guns get more valuable, you buy them a little more, because you're right, that thief only has so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to go for what they see first. So have a little token safe out there for them to take the BB gun out of, you know. But then, yeah, so that's a great idea. And the reason I brought up the delivery thing is because it's not a big van that says Bob's Safe Delivery.
No.
Come to your door. This is a FedEx truck or a UPS truck or maybe even a FedEx freight truck that drops us at your door, and nobody knows it's a safe. It could be a refrigerator.
Smart.
Yes. Our packaging is all this, it's just straight brown box. There's no labeling other than the address label.
Right.
Beautiful.
We're very sensitive to making sure nobody should know that you own firearms but you.
Right.
I love it.
Awesome.
All right, Tom, thank you so much for spending so much time with us. Tom Kubiniec of SecureIt Tactical.
Tom,
Thanks
keep
so
it
much.
safe.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. And my brain is starting to work on,
Oh, no, that means I'm going to have to remodel.
No, I think we could probably fit it into in the stores where I'm thinking of, because we've thought about that so many times about how do we do storage so that people still have their anonymity, their freedom, their control, but a place to store their firearms and so forth without having to go through, okay, now they've got to import it with us, and then they've got
Right. And it could be just a simple weekend. I just want to go away for the weekend and the kids are home, and I just don't want the kids to have guns around the house.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ideas there.
But really what needs to be about this whole thing, the takeaway of this.
Ooh, he said he hates the word takeaway.
Oh, I hate it. But
that
this
was
program
big.
is that America, we have the privilege and the rights to own firearms. We have a duty to make sure that we do it safe and educate the people around you so that there are no accidents. That's a responsibility that we have.
Absolutely. And I'm you know how you hate the word weapon?
I hate
how you
weapon,
hate that word?
assault,
You like it?
Weapon,
Yeah.
assault.
Well, you just used the word privilege in front of the word right. So I'm having a reaction to that. But it is our right. It's our God-given right to protect the one and only life that we have. Others want to make it a privilege, so that's why I have
and I agree with that.
Getting my back up.
It's just a word. It's just a word. And every once in a while, even though I hate the word weapon, I have said it before.
It's true. And
it really irritates me because to me, a weapon is something you use to go against somebody. That I would say a tool is what you use to defend yourself from an attacker, not a weapon.
You think weapon is offensive,
right?
Offensive, and firearm, gun, tool is defensive. And I agree with you because
they say all the time he used a weapon against you. It doesn't sound right to say he used a weapon to defend himself.
Right.
That sounds like you're still bad.
Right. And then that whole assault weapon, assault rifle stuff. Assault is a behavior.
No, assault is what's in the kitchen cupboard. That's what assault is.
Assault.
Yeah,
got you.
right.
Is that your bad dad joke for the day?
I guess, but that's what assault is. We do not at azfirearms.com have any assault or weapons or assault weapons in our store.
What do we have?
We have AR-15s. We have all kinds of firearms, but we have no weapons and we have no assault weapons.
We have tools
right.
For sporting. We have tools for hunting. We have tools for self-defense.
None of our firearms are to be sold to be used as weapons. They are firearms.
Firearms for sporting,
defending, support,
hunting,
right.
Self-defense.
And
all right.
That's what we do. Okay, so it looks like we're going to wrap this show up, and we're not going to pray for the evil politicians, only the good. Wait, I did that wrong, didn't I? Kind of messed that up a little bit. How does it go?
It's close. You got real close
to
how we wrap up. The first thing we want to do is we want to thank Tom Kubiniec for coming on. And I keep glancing down when I say his name because I don't want to mispronounce it. Sometimes I do that to our guests and I feel really bad. But Tom Kubiniec of SecureIt Tactical, he's given me lots of great ideas. I think this is the perfect time to talk to people about, whether it's smart to get one big, massive safe or no safe at all. I don't know that that's smart. Some people go that route.
No.
Or this modular system that the SecureIt Tactical has. So thank you to Tom. Thank you to all of our amazing listeners. Your time is your most finite commodity. And when you spend it with us, we value that more than we could possibly say. And then when you take the things, the ideas and the things that we talk about here into your sphere of influence, your dinner tables, are people carpooling yet?
No, but they're going to ranges and they're shooting and they're that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Into your Zoom meetings. Everybody's doing Zoom meetings, right? This was a Zoom meeting. When you go and you carry these ideas forward, that's really, that helps, move that torch of freedom forward. So thank you for that.
Yeah, don't shut out somebody that's against what you believe. Don't shut out a constructive argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you shut them out, they'll shut you out and you're not going to get anywhere. And we really need people to understand us.
Mm-hmm.
And I say us as the gun community, that we're not bad people, that we are concerned about safety and we're concerned about safe firearm handling.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Have those conversations, be respectful, be willing to consider other people's thoughts and ideas, and hopefully they will reciprocate and listen to your thoughts and ideas. And I had another thought and it left me. I hate it when that happens, but that's okay, because in the next show, maybe it will occur.
You were going to say that people that don't agree with you aren't stupid.
Mm-mm.
They're just, you both don't understand.
Absolutely.
And I say both.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But for now, we will wrap up. So until next time, pray for our nation.
Let me see if I get that. Pray for our nation.
Pray for our leaders.
Pray for some of our leaders.
All of them, Dan.
All of them?
Even the ones you don't like.
Especially the ones you don't like?
See, you remembered that part, especially the ones you don't like.
We'll see about that. Tune in to see if it changes.
Be good to each other. Have a great week, and God bless.